violence, war. Thus has it always been, thus shall it always be. Corporation against corporation, humanity against the dark powers, the Dark Legion, the Brotherhood, our technology turned against us. War without end. Amen. How did we get to this place? What evil brought us here? Can we be saved? This dark history of humanity is told in the Mutant Chronicles. From Revelations to Stalemate.
You chose to abandon the motherland. You shall not return.
2453 AD. Bauhaus and its allies, Capital and Imperial, assume the message from Whitestar means they are responsible for the loss of the expeditionary forces on Earth. The corporations are wrong. The exact events remain a mystery. Corporate expeditionary forces land near Prague, an area that even the most hardened forces of Whitestar avoid. They know the fog-choked area around Prague to be dangerous, filled with mutant monsters. This also means it had not been stripped like other facilities, complete with a functioning Bauhaus ID beacon. Whitestar forces claim they were moving in to assist, knowing the dangers the expeditionary forces were facing, but they are too late. Bauhaus Mission Control, orbiting in the space station Barilas, receives a single transmission. A desperate member of their forces describing hideous monsters emerging from the mists before being violently cut off. Upon investigating the remains of the corporate forces, Whitestar discovers a horrible truth. The megacorporations believe old Earth to be nothing but ruins and a few desperate and dying scavengers. They are returning now, centuries later, with plans to re-terraform their birth world. From their lofty observatories in space, the megacorporations have no idea that the people of Whitestar spent generations rebuilding their home from within their underground strongholds. This terraforming process would destroy all life currently on the planet. Confronted with this fact, the leader of Whitestar, a woman calling herself the Tsarina, takes action. She claims to be descended from the Russian Tsars and orders the now infamous message to be sent. The next command she gives is to reactivate the Russian Federation's slumbering nuclear arsenal. Any future incursions by the megacorporations will be met with deadly force. The arsenal is then used to threaten the space assets of the megacorporations. Whitestar troops use their superior numbers and area knowledge to launch a subterranean assault. They surround and capture the corporate ground forces. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, the megacorporations capitulate and negotiations begin for the return of their people and equipment. To control future conflict, the megacorporations set up a blockade around Earth, using the latest technology and newest listening posts to contain and monitor Whitestar. Aggressive expansion. Late 25th century AD. Disappointed at the loss of their holdings on Earth, the Elector Dukes of Bauhaus recognized that future expeditions would not be worth the risk and resources. They focused their superior building skills on making their new homeworld of Venus the envy of all. This also makes them a target of corporate plots and greed. The essential role of megacorporation Bauhaus in terraforming the solar system has earned its people the name Home Builders, a term even its enemies use in deference to history. The Elector Dukes also decree that they will provide their people with the best education and social welfare system in the inner worlds. The traditional home builders see themselves as being the guardians of all that is noble about humanity. Capital, the first to leave old Earth during the Great Exodus, is outwardly satisfied to leave Earth alone. Capital must defer to their belief that freedom is the inherent right of all people. Let Whitestar have its ruined world. Megacorporation Capital controls Mars, the breadbasket of the solar system. To stabilize the Martian environment, they capture the asteroid Eos and drag it into orbit with the planet. Eos will also serve another purpose. It becomes a base of operations for Capital's growing armada, one of the keys to its military primacy. In addition to its fertile fields, Mars has one more treasure to offer Capital: the ruins of an ancient civilization. Mishima, refusing involvement in the expedition to Earth, is unmoved by the Whitestar revelation. It is quietly satisfied that the other megacorporations could not erase the sins of the past. The Lord Heirs of Mishima continue to focus their efforts on expanding the vast underground complex beneath Mercury's hostile surface. They discover huge caverns carved by an ancient civilization and link them with a webway of tunnels. Corporate archaeologists confirm it is the same civilization, referred to now as the Ancients, that once inhabited Mars. Access to Mercury is strictly controlled with atmospheric countermeasures, making the planet into one vast fortress. Mishima, in many ways the outsider among the four original megacorporations, now has the most secure power base in the solar system. The core business strategy of Megacorporation Imperial and the controlled chaos of its clans has ever been growth and acquisition, be it in the form of hostile takeovers and insider trading, or by conquest. The conquest of Earth has failed, but Imperial, perhaps more than any other megacorporation, has always known the best opportunities for growth are in the outer worlds beyond the asteroid belt. The belt itself is a perfect metaphor for the clans of Imperial, many diverse bodies in a single orbit. From Victoria, the Imperial capital on the largest asteroid, it establishes colonies as far as Titan, a moon orbiting Saturn, and Ganymede, Jupiter's largest moon. Imperial commissions 2 ships for exploratory missions that will take them to the very edge of the system. The first ship is the frigate, the Harbinger, that will survey Pluto for terraforming and colonization. The second ship, the Zephyr, will take the Imperial conquistadors to the very edge of the known system and then further into unknown interstellar space. Artifact on Pluto, 2480 AD. After a year, the Harbinger reaches Pluto. The findings are encouraging, and terraforming commences immediately. Excavation of the planet proceeds without incident, as massive regulators are drilled deep into the planet to stabilize the gravity and allow further work to begin. As the final regulator is being placed, an object is struck almost a kilometer below the planet's surface, destroying their high-powered equipment. Upon investigation, they find that their drilling has uncovered a network of tunnels and chambers. The walls are covered with glyphs, similar to the ones found on both Mercury and Mars, assumed to be the work of the Ancients. Then, the strange object that had destroyed their drilling equipment is found. Not knowing how to proceed, the conquistadors of Megacorporation Imperial contact Victoria for instructions. They receive 2 contradictory replies. The artificial intelligence that runs most of Imperial operations tells them to abort the mission and only record location data for the object that it classifies as an artifact. Analyzing the Imperial AI report, the Imperial Board of Directors countermands the First Order and demands an excavation of the artifact and a thorough investigation of the object and its nature. After days of digging, the artifact is finally recovered and brought on board the Harbinger for intensive study. It is a massive, dark, metallic tablet, covered in markings of an unknown language, similar to those seen on the walls of the chamber where it was found. The tablet defies all means of analysis. Instruments do not indicate any toxicity, radiation, or harmful substances. Oddly, the ship's communication systems begin to suffer interference of an unknown origin. The team's investigation continues. The Zephyr, having reached what was thought to be the edge of the known solar system, sends a distorted transmission to Imperial, reporting the discovery of a 10th planet. All scans indicate it is suitable for terraforming. They name the planet Nero. As they attempt to land planetside, all communication is lost. The Zephyr is never heard from again. The Big Scream, 2481 AD. Continued examination of the tablet recovered from Pluto produces little result. Determining it to be safe, the lead researcher places his hand against the surface of the tablet. He is violently brought to his knees before the artifact, his hand seemingly stuck to its surface. The researcher appears to be in some kind of unsettling pose of worship. His skin begins to turn white and crack. Moments before his sudden and grotesque death, he utters 3 words. She kissed me. His body appears to be flash frozen, as if he had been left unprotected in deep space. Immediately, the Harbinger systems begin to fail. A full report is hastily sent to Victoria before total communication systems failure occurs. It is the last transmission ever received from the Harbinger. A violent pulse from somewhere on Pluto is sent to the Imperial Communication Network, destroying it completely. This signal will become known as the Big Scream. It spreads to the entire interconnected Solarcom network, which is also critically damaged. AI systems begin to develop unknown errors, leading to widespread failures. The minds of network operators burn, and support systems begin to collapse. Unexplained anomalies begin to occur throughout the entire system. The Dark Symmetry is now free.